What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another Emcstats report. Today, we are going to break down a little bit game one and game two of the WNBA semifinals between the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury. We'll dip back into game one in just in a little bit, but the focus to start off right now is game two. The Mercury still game two. They're now going home with home court advantage. Second round is the best of five series. So you tie the series up 1-1, and now you got two games. You have two games to upset the Lynx. And before we continue to get into this, I want to say that Nafisha Collier needs to seriously invest in security because in the span of a week, we've seen the MVP award by way of Asia Wilson be taken away. Some would say stolen from Nafisha Collier. And then you follow that up by allowing the Mercury to steal game two from you as well. So, Nafisha Collier, please invest in security so things can stop being taken away and stolen from you. Losing the MVP and then the way y'all lost game two with you being the leader of that team, invest in security. Please invest in security. Getting into game two, game two was a very winning overtime. Obviously, it was a thriller, but the thing that stood out to me and that I would like for y'all to like pay attention to going into game three is second chance points by the Mercury. The win the game 89-83, and of those 89 points by the Mercury, 18 of those points were by way of second chance points. Ask me, hey Edward, how many second chance points did the Mercury have in game one? They had a whopping total of 5 second chance points in game one. And then in game two, they go on to get 18 second chance points. And it's not just the fact that the Mercury, they went on to, like I say, that they had 18 second chance points, right? There were two possessions where we saw these second chance points, I believe, drastically change the dynamic of this game. Obviously, the largest lead for the Lynx was the 20-point lead midway through the third quarter, and the Lynx were able to constantly and repeatedly just chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away at this lead, right? And so with the second chance points, I want to show you where I think the game, like I say, that the game drastically shifted into the momentum being in the favor of the Mercury due to these two second chance points possessions, right? So first off, here you're up by 5 with less than a minute to go. Nafisha Collier, she blocks the one Bonner shot, ball goes out of bounds, steals Mercury possession. Nate Tibbetts, he comes out with a good out of bounds play, and just pay attention to not just the fact that they scored, but how quickly they scored, not really allowing too much time off the clock to then take the game down to a 3-point possession with still a lot of time left in the game. So check this play out right here. Check this play out. This is the out of bounds play, right? 72-77. You see, it's 50 seconds left in this game. You're up 5 at the crib. You got to find a way to not just get a stop. Get a stop at this point with a 5-point lead. So check this out. I want y'all to watch Saberly. Saberly is right here. If you can see this cursor, Saberly is right here on the inside of McBride. Right? Boom. It literally had boom. second chance play. It literally happened that fast. It literally happened that fast. Again, here goes Saberly. Saberly is right here. She's on the elbow. Watch how quickly this play develops. And not only the fact that Saberly was able to score the shot, right? It came from a second chance opportunity with her being able to grab the rebound and go immediately back up after missing the first shot attempt off this out of bounds play. Let it go again. Boom. Sets the screen. Boom. Comes straight down, dive. Over Williams misses it. McBride doesn't crash it. Saberly gets it. Second chance point. Boom. 77-74. 46 seconds left in the game. Only 4 seconds was gone off that one play. And now you're the Mercury. Now you're the Mercury, and you get the opportunity. You get the opportunity now with the Mercury to with the Mercury, now all you got to do is play defense. You're not even up against the shot clock necessarily, but you're only down 3. Hey, let's get a stop and let's go back down and see if we can score. Right. So that was the first second chance opportunity that I think changed the ship, because it's like, yo, we're not down 7 no more. We're only down, excuse me, I said 7. I've been saying 7. I mean 5. You're down 5. You're down 5 with less than a minute to go, and you get that quick out of bounds play off a second chance opportunity. And you mean to tell me we're down 46 seconds? Or you mean to tell me it's 46 seconds left? And with those 46 seconds, we're only down 3. So all we got to do is just play solid defense, and we don't have to worry about the clock working against us, where we got to play the foul game. Costly second chance opportunity that the Lynx gave up, because now you're just making it that more believable possession by possession, score by score for the Mercury, that, hey, we can fuck around and steal this game. You feel me? So that's the first second chance opportunity that stood out to me as this game, as the game just became more and more pivotal, and the momentum was like going back and forth, right? So you get that second chance opportunity by Saberly. Coach Reeves, she calls the timeout. 46 seconds left. We're up 3. They go on to make the score go back up to 5. The score goes back up to 5. Courtney Williams, she ends up getting to the free throw line, and she scores. She scores, right, going up 79. They go up 79 to 76. It's 20 seconds left, my G. It is 20 seconds left in this game. Again, you're the Mercury. You're the Lynx. You've already got burnt. You have already got burnt by giving up a second chance opportunity to Saberly on the out of bounds play. Hey, let's regroup. We're not up 5 no more, but let's regroup. Let's make sure we crash the boards and we stop them. We limit them from getting a second chance opportunity to tie this ball game with 20 seconds left, right? Here is the next possession, or the next second chance opportunity, that just completely forever, I guess, was the gateway into the Mercury stealing this game. Game on the line. You need to stop. You the Mercury. We're down. We're up 3. Let's defend the 3. Or worst case scenario, I don't know if necessarily you want to play the foul game like that, or just try to wait late into the shot clock to foul, stop them from shooting the 3. This is how the second chance opportunity plays out for the Phoenix Mercury. Wilkham always got to pay attention to the person who inbounds the ball, but it's not even a quick bam play. Like, they got 20 seconds. Boom. She shoots the 3, greatly contested. Greatly contested 3 by Courtney Williams. Greatly contested. It is a air ball. It is a air ball. And somehow, some way, a great player and Nafisha Collier, they're all, I know you probably as a player, you expecting that ball to at some level like hit or graze the rim, but they're all just staring in the sky. They're all just staring in the sky some kind of miraculous way. I won't even say miraculous. We know she's a great rebounder, always averaging nearly a triple double. And Alyssa Thomas, just finds a way to get that ball. All right, she gets it. It is what it is. We got to move on, but like, let's not panic, right? Let's not panic. 10 seconds left. They give up an offensive rebound. So now, can we get another second chance point if we're the Phoenix Mercury? Can we get another one? Pump fake, rip through dribble? You bet we can get another second chance point to tie this ball game up. 79 apiece. Whip them, ice in her veins. They got out there like she Steph Curry, night night. Like we done tied the game. The game ain't over, but like you know what I'm saying. And so those two possessions, man, I believe were the or what catapulted the Mercury still in this game. And the reason it stood out to me so much is like I'm watching the game, I'm like, damn, like how many times y'all gonna get him second chance opportunities? And I was like, all right, well, like, were y'all doing like were these second chance opportunities like afforded to y'all in game one? And it's no, the difference in game one, Mercury 5 second chance points. Difference in game two and them still in game two, 18 second chance points. And 5 of those second chance points coming in the final minute of the fourth quarter when they're down 5, trying to rally back. You gotta like it's them small intricate details is the difference in like a championship or not winning a championship. Still in the game, not still in the game. Protecting home court and like all that good stuff, man. So that is like the foundation of what I believe how the Mercury went about stealing game two and tying up this series and having home court advantage. And I really wanted to like just like broadcast that and show that to y'all. Let me know what y'all think y'all's turning point of the game was as I continue to like kind of like get more and more into like the overtime and how that unfolded. But yeah, do y'all agree with me? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all feel like that was the most pivotal tongue tie? Was that the most pivotal point in this game two, or do y'all want to hang y'all hat on another moment or momentum swinger as to how the Mercury found a way to steal game two? So after that, obviously the Mercury, Nafisha Collier, she misses the game winner, go into overtime. It gets worse for the it gets worse for the Lynx. And I'm not saying that because they lost, but it's just about how it looked. You're not rebounding. You're giving up constant offensive rebounds with the second chance points. We talked about that. But the Lynx go into overtime. In the first three possessions they had on offense, their best player, Nafisha Collier, did not touch the ball once in the first three possessions. And she touched the ball on the fourth possession, and I would argue maybe that was only because she got the defensive rebound to start the offensive possession for their fourth offensive possession. And so I'm watching, and I'm like, yo, and Courtney Williams, she's like, she's having somewhat of a decent game. And it's like, you're the point guard. You're supposed to know the cadence. You're supposed to dictate the flow of the offense and the team. And you should be the one, if ain't nobody gonna do it, you should be the one in Courtney Williams to be like, hey, let's slow this down. And let's make sure like we get Nafisha Collier a look. I don't care if the Mercury call themselves like selling out and don't want her to touch the ball. The shots that they took, you got 2 contested threes. McBride had a contested 3. Courtney had a contested 3. And then Courtney had like another like pull up mid-range jumper. And these shots were like early in the shot clock. These wasn't forced shots, right? outside of the mid range jumper from Courtney Williams. And I'm just like, how do y'all in perfect like sound mind and body go three straight possessions to open up overtime and Nafisha Collier does not touch the ball? Like, what are y'all? Are y'all intentionally losing this game? Did Vegas call y'all? Like what's going on, bro? Like what is going on? And so like I feel like part of the blame is I want to put blame on Courtney as the point guard. And I also want to put blame on Nafisha Collier to be like, hey, you got to speak up or you got to say, hey, give me the ball, get the hell out of my way. Or like, what are we doing? And then you could also go to Coach Reeve and be like, hey, like how do y'all not make sure Collier gets the ball? I ain't saying she got to shoot it, but just put the ball in her hands as a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I think that just snowballed it from the second chance point opportunities that they gave up to the Mercury. Then you open up overtime, like not even allowing Nafisha Collier to touch the ball in your first three offensive possessions. I think it was just a snowball effect from that standpoint. And then lastly, you talk about the compare and contrast. Maybe not lastly, but I try to wrap it up for y'all. You talk about the compare and contrasting of game two and game one, where the Mercury had 18 second chance points in game two, and in game one, they had only 5. Game one, the Mercury had 11 bench points, and in game two, excuse me, I don't think I said the Lynx had in game one 11 bench points, and in game two, they only had 3. So there's plenty of things to clean up and blame in terms of how the Mercury found a way to win this game, or how you could say the Lynx found a way to lose the game. Whether you want to blame it on the second chance points, whether you want to blame it on the poor execution in overtime or the bench not giving you enough. It's I am disgusted with how the Minnesota Lynx lost this game. But again, talking about the compare and the contrast of game one, talking about the compare and contrast of game one and game two, we all seen it, right? Where Holly talks to Alyssa Thomas. And after she had those comments of like, hey, she got to guard me too. Like, we ain't really worried about what she got going on. She got to guard me too. At maybe at the end of halftime or end of the first quarter. After those comments in game one, Alyssa Thomas went on to have a total of 2 points for the remainder of that game. She had 2 points, shooting 1 for 3 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. But if you looked at game one and I told you, hey, Alyssa Thomas had 18, 8, and 7, shot 50% from the field, you'd be like, damn, that was a good game. But no, it was not a good game for Alyssa Thomas. It's not always about how you start. It's most importantly about how you finish, a la game two and how the Mercury won about finishing game two. I believe Alyssa Thomas, like she maybe had the mindset like, hey, I gave us a 7-point lead, being aggressive and being a scorer, shooting the ball 14 times in one half. I was aggressive enough, but now going into the second half, I'm gonna try to facilitate, get my teammates involved. And it's just like, no, Alyssa, you've got to keep your foot on the gas. You are not a threat solely as being a facilitator. You are a threat when they have to deal with your playmaking ability and also be very aware of your ability to score. And I say that from a standpoint where in game two, there were marquee moments where Nafisha Collier, there were marquee moments in game two where Alyssa Thomas was able to lure Nafisha Collier to sleep, meaning hey, we all know that Nafisha Collier is playing below the 3 point line, damn near at the free throw line when it comes to having to guard Alyssa Thomas. We know she's doing that constantly, right? We know Alyssa Thomas ain't about to shoot no threes like that. And so when they're trying to get into their action and they're doing this dribble handoff, you're accustomed to AT handing the ball off. There were marquee moments where Alyssa Thomas fakes the handoff and Nafisha Collier is overplaying the handoff, and Alyssa Thomas is straight to the rim, line drive, routine, practice, layup line, score. That's keeping them honest, and as you also being aggressive and scoring, right? Um, there are other moments where the offense may be getting it may be like muddy, it may be a lot of traffic going on around in the paint, and the Fisher Collier being a good defender is trying to play help side defense because Alyssa Thomas is a little far out and you're not worried about the ball getting swung out to her deep and her shooting the ball again, or shooting a three, right? Or a D2. So Nafisha Collier is like, you know what I'm saying, like playing the help side defense, trying to, bait the defense and, whatever, steal the ball, poke the ball out. And Alyssa Thomas kind of creeps and edges a little deep inside, towards the free throw line. And Nafisha Collier backs gets turned because she's trying to steal the ball or do whatever. And Alyssa Thomas right there for a routine free throw, 15-footer knockdown shot. And so I think that's attributed to Alyssa Thomas being aggressive, her looking for her shot as opposed to just handicapping the offense to where it's like, okay, we're not worried about Alyssa because she's trying to facilitate. We're just really worried about four people trying to score. And like I say, in the game one, you go 8 of 14 from the field, you scoring 16 points, and your team is able to get out of the first half with a 7-point lead, right? But then in that second half, like you let up, you only take 3 shots in the second half, and your team ends up losing 82 to 69. So it's just like, but then again, you look at the contrast in game two. You look at the contrast in game two of the second half, and in the second half, where in game one, Alyssa Thomas only took 3 shots, in game two of the second half, she took 6 shots. She took 6 shots, far more aggressive than only taking 3. And she was able to go 3 for 6, going 50% from the field to give you 6 points. And then on top of that, you go into overtime. You go into overtime of that game, and Alyssa Thomas, she gave you 7 points. Took 2 shots, got to the free throw line twice, 2, I believe. Yeah, she got to the free throw line. I'm looking at 5 or 8 from the free throw line in overtime. Like, so you got to be aggressive, Alyssa Thomas. If you are aggressive, I think this team can beat the Lynx. And I know it's in your nature to be a playmaker, and the offense is revolved around you getting everybody else involved. But if you could find that fine balance, and maybe there is no balance, sometimes you're going to be like, hey, I'm sorry, these assists going to have to be my own assist tonight to myself. So if AT can stay aggressive, man, I think they could truly upset the Lynx, because I don't think Nafisha is really gonna respect AT enough to like really be in her face and guarding her. So if AT could take advantage of those opportunities and be aggressive and like pick the right spots, so when to attack, be in attack mode at all times. Don't ever turn your ability or the option to score off because you're so predicated in trying to like run the offense and get your teammates open. Like, you are OG, you know how to find ways to get your teammates going, but do not stop being aggressive, because I think if you're not aggressive, that's limiting the full potential of the Phoenix Mercury as well as yourself. So yeah, man. That's all I got on game one and game two. If you ask me, who do I think is going to win this series? Before I had the Minnesota Lynx, I am going to still ride with the Minnesota Lynx, because I think as great as the Phoenix Mercury looked, I think it had a lot to do with like how undisciplined as a basketball team the Minnesota Lynx were. late in that game. And that could just be a one-off, and I believe it to be a one-off considering how great they've been the entirety of the season. I'm gonna just say they just had a lapse in just being disciplined, and they looking at the film as much as I am, or more than I am, and they're gonna like clean it up and fix it. Also, too, I'm gonna go out and say I think the Mercury win. I think the Mercury win game three. And if I think the Mercury win game three, and I'm saying the Lynx are going to win the series as a whole, that means that the Lynx win the series in five. So I'm going to say the Lynx win the series in five. And one of these games coming up, either game three or game four, I'm not sure which one exactly, but game three or game four, Courtney Williams she's due for like an off night. I don't know if she's gonna stay aggressive. She went not she had 20 points and took 19 shots. So I don't know if she's gonna taper back the shot attempts. Three of those shots was in overtime. Um, so I think Courtney Williams is due for like a struggling shooting night, whether that be game three or game four on the road. And I think because Courtney Williams may be off, that's going to kind of balance it off unless Nafisha Collier goes absolutely like crazy for like a 40 point, 35-point game, maybe. Um, when Courtney Williams has an off shooting night coming up in like the game three or game four, I think that's what's going to be able to allow the Mercury to like take advantage of the Lynx, all of their players not clicking, so to speak. And like also to the bench, like your bench gotta win you one game. Maybe the bench wins the Lynx. Maybe the bench wins the Lynx game five, maybe possibly. And I think Khalil Copper, she had the ankle injury, but I think she's due for a big game in game four, game five, or both, being back at the crib, be more comfortable. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna still pick the Lynx. I'm gonna pick the Lynx to win in five. I'm gonna pick the Lynx to win this series in five. Game three or game four, not sure which one, but the Minnesota, the Mercury are definitely winning a game at home. And with them already having split the series, I think that lines it up for them to yeah win at home. Lynx in five. Not sure which game, four or five, but um Khalil Copper is due for a great game, and Courtney Williams and or Kayla McBride may be due for a regression and a struggling shooting performance, just playing the odds of the percentages over the course of time. So yeah, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Who do y'all have winning this series and how many games, and what do y'all think the turning point was in game two between the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury? Look out for the next clip to breaking down the the Las Vegas Aces, and the Indiana Fever. Yeah, thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in to the Emcstats report. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, not just for this channel, but also for the Respect the Game podcast channel as well. Yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications. Got a ton more recap WNBA playoff content coming to you, as well as college football, NFL, and the NBA is very, very near. Love you, beautiful people, and I will see you on the next report.